hands on the wheel, I'm still drunk driving. Road rage, got me feeling like I'm out of my mind. I'm on the stage, feeling like crime, but I see these people in this place. Gotta speak the real, gotta keep it real. When I rap like this, it gives me the chills. I hope you really feel what you really feel. Do what you do to make money just to pay your bills. It's messed up, they don't wanna see us going forward. Making sure I hold down the last name doors. It's been wild like a wild force, but I bet God got something better for us. We just gotta get together. You don't need to have that. To my people, man. Struggle been real too long. So I start busting like a chain. And I promise I'm not gonna die until I change this. I got a baby girl in this world, so I ain't got no choice. Y'all either gonna take me out or ride with me. And I put that on everything.
Hard times made us, yeah, but that's okay. I'm a hustler, and that won't change. Hustling.
And I promise I'm not gonna die until I change this. I got a baby girl in this world, so I ain't got no choice. Y'all either gonna take me out or ride with me. And I put that on everything.
Hard times made us, yeah, but that's okay. I'm a hustler, and that won't change. Hustling.
Here for you, Granny. My granny.
He's going to give us a verse of a good Bring Up the Preacher song, and then Brother Christopher Darnell will come.
Appreciate it.
Number 575, one of my favorites. One of them.
Mojo.
Shelter in the Time of Storm. I don't know about you, but it was a song for me. But God is good. He's good. The Lord's our rock in the hill.
Riri, what up, mama? How you doing? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We about to start Obadiah. I just want to hear a song or two. What up, Five? Five in the house.
In the time of the storm, you know, I see my defense, my night, shelter in the time of the storm, you know, no fear, no foe,
Five in the house.
Come on, the children, I know.
The Nicole Nicky Bounce. That's crazy. I was just singing. I said, thank you, Cuddy. I was just saying, I wish I would have, when y'all was in there singing with Granny, I should have, I don't know the words to this song, all of it, but I should have sung the chorus and just sung the chorus to this song when y'all was singing. Just said, y'all just sing the chorus like 2 times. This one. Shelter in the time of the storm. That's what I wanted to hear, man. I should have played it. I said I wanted to hear it. I said, let me listen to this and sing it, and then that way I'll still sing it with my granny. But man, I should have came in there and recorded it while we was singing. I'm out there smoking. I wasn't thinking. I'm smoking. I'm singing it with y'all out there. But I should have came in.
Shelter in the time of the storm, you know the raging of storm. We're around us, fear a shelter in the time of the storm, you know we will never leave our safe retreat.
Yes.
Come on,
yes. That'll fix everything. Let's do it this Sunday for sure. I need to see her singing. I missed it. That's what it was. And it made me think of Aindu, and probably TT was singing, before, and they singing. That's what they remember singing with her. And it made me, I'm like, oh man, it's all after. I was at this where I was like, this crazy. And it made me feel like I wasn't going to get that. Like I missed it. We ain't going to be singing again. Not like we probably would get together, we probably wouldn't be singing, and stuff. So it made me feel like I wasn't going. Like I was that one time, I was like, man, and then had a little baby singing with her. I was like, man, what was I doing? That's crazy. I love you though. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that.
Oh my Jesus,
Cousin. Thank you, Miss Nikki Brown, y'all. Y'all follow her.
You contain.
Hit her with likes. She does her videos and she do her posts and her pictures too as well. That's my cousin. Oh, again. You want it again? Let's go again. Alright, I got you. Let's go again. His voice, ain't it? How he sing it. I be wanting to sound like that. He be feeling, you feel the storm, and you feel the shelter. You feel the shelter in the time. Or the storm.
God is good. He's good. The Lord's our rock.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, y'all follow Nikki Brown, man. That's my cousin, man. Showing love in here. That's probably why my numbers went up so high, because of her support. Appreciate that, cousin. Appreciate that. Thank you. Showing love. Jesus is alive. He just make you hear it. Now this I just want to hear just this one part. I'm not gonna do the whole song. I just want to hear this one part. But we about to get started. Obadiah, y'all. We're gonna be in Obadiah tonight, the book of Obadiah, and we started from Genesis, you guys. This is why I love what I've been doing. I've been teaching online, social media, on my Beagle platform under the name Kakarot. This is Genesis. We started right here, everybody. Online, all live. And we started, and we just now about to start in the book of Obadiah. And we just going to keep going. This is how much we got left. This is the Old Testament. This ain't even Matthew's yet. We haven't even hit Matthew. There the red go. Right? So we haven't even hit Jesus yet. So there we got Obadiah. And this is what we did. We finished all this. So if you ask me anything from here to here, I know it. You ask me anything from here, I don't know it yet. Just like that yet. By heart. But I got you if you need anything from him over in here. I got you. So that's that's what I just wanted to say. Thank God for that, though, you guys. Because what I'm doing is I'm literally reading it page by page with everybody, trying to get you guys updated together, so that way it's not left behind. I know sometimes you go to church and it be confusing. Seeing everybody else follow along and able to pay attention and be laughing, you trying to be serious, thinking you about to go to hell. Everybody else laughing because they understand. You like, wait a minute, I can't laugh. Like I'm about to die, and it automatically feel like you on hot coals trying to stay alive. You fell off, right? That's just sitting down trying to go. So it's very confusing, and sometimes it makes you feel you don't have a place, you don't belong. Only because you see how well it's done for others. And not to judge people, you might be like, okay, that's good, but I feel I can do something good too. But it makes it seem like it's a long battle. You ain't gonna make it. You should have started early. You don't know how to start it all. Like all these questions come. So here we are at my church. We try to answer it. We try to make you feel comfortable, make you feel like you belong. That's why we started over, people, everybody. We started over from the beginning together. We read this together, my audience. So we've got here together. If we didn't understand something, if we didn't know something, we didn't know it together, and we fixed it and found it and got the answer together. So that's the purpose of how I'm teaching the church and trying to make people really understand. Now, if people really wanted to understand God and His Word, this is what we have learned. I'm not trying to brag, and I'm not trying to just toot my own horn and laugh, but people, I've never heard and this is it's in the Bible. Remember, we read all of it. I've never heard this version when you just read it, because you take parts and pieces. People say one part and then skip and jump all the way over there, and it's you get taught like that. You gotta remember that was the lesson, like jumping around in the book. Whatever the whole few hours while you were just to jump around, which is fine if you already are jumping around yourself. But my point, you guys, you can't. This is what I found out. You can't read one part. You just can't do it. Like even if you're familiar with it, it's impossible. You must start over. You must treat it like it's a book, and you have to start over. You have to start over. You must treat it like it's literature, like it's an actual book, like it's a story, and you want to know what the story. You gotta remember, you were also taught to just open this book and jump straight to Jesus or past Jesus and go to the end of the book, which is the end of the world, supposedly, past Jesus and go to Revelations. So you already were taught how to get hurt. The truth is in the beginning. And this is what I don't, like I said, I'm not here to challenge people. I bet you from anyone that teaches this is the end of the world and you should study Revelations, I bet you I could teach them some things from Genesis that'll make them stop thinking this is the end of the world. Trust me, you guys, we are not nowhere near in Revelation. Nowhere near Revelations. And I'm just saying that if you read this book over, you will see for yourself there's no way anything you were taught is possible how you were taught. If you read the book for yourself, you will read the book for yourself. You will get think of God being, if Martin Luther King or Malcolm X wrote a book and they said, when that rock hit me in the head, I spun out and I went somewhere else for a moment. Only they can describe how that rock felt getting hit. No matter how you read it, how many years, how you graduated, top of the class, top of the college. Everybody wants you to go here because you're so smart. You're always going to read it how they felt. It's never going to be anything about you because you didn't get hit with the rock, right? This is not your feelings. No matter how many years go by, the Bible was wrote by God. And only can he tell you how he felt when Satan, he gave all this to Satan, and Satan turned his back. Only he could tell you that, how that felt to get hit like that. So I just want people to understand that. So we can't sit here and say, oh, this is what God, this is what God, this is what God. God has to, and remember, the book doesn't even work like that. God came to Adam, right? He created him, but he came to him. Adam didn't find him. I just want people to understand that he doesn't work like that. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. I just want people to understand that first. There's no such thing as you did anything in this book. This book had nothing to do with somebody said, I'm about to go do that. That's not even in the book. Look, from the beginning of this book till you close it, not one from the beginning of this book till you close it, not one person said, I'm about to go do that. It was always God told them, go do that. And I just want you to remember that. It was no one knew God. Remember, all these people need help. No one knows where God is, who God is, where God is. Then he sends, not Jesus, he sends someone. It could be a male, a female, a child. It could have been an animal. The stars itself could have shined so bright. It showed God was looking. God did things that made people believe in what he did, you guys. There was no religion. There was no sit here and go to church. I just want people to understand you got that from somebody telling you to go to church. As a black African slave, what do you own? As a black African slave, what do you own here in America? And why are we working for that black African slave that built that? Then, right? Because what did he got? What did she have? So my point is, if a white person told you to go here and worship, God already said, I'm gonna send you somewhere. That's not your home, it's not your land, it's not your people. You're gonna be slaves there. Guess how long? That's why my church is so good. Guess how long I'm gonna send you to this place where you're gonna be a slave? 400 years. And if you need me to read that part, let's go to it. Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And this is Abraham. This is God talking to Abraham. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed. So Abraham couldn't even have one child. That seed was to be the multitude. God said, thy seed shall be as numerous as the sand. As numerous as the sand and as many as the stars, for you cannot count them. That's how many your seeds will be. You can't count. There'll be too many. So know of a surety thy seed. So this is once he has his population, once God made his promise and he had numerous amounts of these people from him that look and act and talk like him. Remember, he's promising him to be a father of a nation. And if you saw why God showed what a nation looked like, he had all these other nations rise up, may have listened to God and was blessed, or may have not listened to God and was cursed and tore down. But to show how powerful a nation is and what it could be. And he's going to promise Abraham, I'm going to make you into the greatest nation, the blessed nation, for the whole world is going to have to worship you and your nation. This is what I promise I'm going to do for you. So while everyone has their nation, and want to know, why am I Chinese? Why am I Mexican? Why am I white? Why am I this? You come from someone that God blessed to be the head of what started you. And he's promised Abraham he's going to make him into one of these. So when you see all these populated people fulfilling what God has told them to do, you know they come from Father Abraham. That's who God was going to choose. So that's how it starts. Now look, watch this. Know of certainty that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. So that's the first sign of the seeds of Abraham, the children. And you know those seeds became the Israelites, the chosen Israelites, the children. God doesn't give a color. He doesn't give an address. He doesn't give a direction of where you're going to find them. He gives the prophecy of what happened to them. So you'll always know you're looking at them. Watch this. Know of a certainty that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. So they're going to be somewhere. Well, everyone has this nation. This is Abraham's nation. So this is the chosen people, the chosen children, the chosen nation, the chosen hand of Abraham is these individuals. Watch this, y'all. This is why I want you guys to come to my church and learn the real word. Know of a certainty that thy seed. So now, since he doesn't give a name, a color, he doesn't show you who they are specifically, he only tells you what happened to them. So now everyone has their land, their nation. They're all named after their country. Your nation, your country, your seed, your people are going to be taken somewhere else and brought somewhere else, growing up somewhere else that's not their land. So that means you're going to be taken somewhere else. See all these people saying, oh, the Jews and all these people, the Native Americans, all these people, but they weren't taken from their land, brought somewhere else to be a prisoner in somewhere else and held there. So now you look where with people that are grown, populated somewhere, and now they're stripped and taken somewhere else to be held there and forced to grow there. So now you got to see this. This is why God is designing this picture. Watch this now. Shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. Serve them. So to be a slave, be a servant. Will serve them, be nice. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. A servant. We will serve them. We'll be peaceful. We'll be good. We'll be cooperable. Now watch this. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And they shall afflict them. That means beat them, chastise, rape, murder, abuse them, hurt them 400 years. That's the prophecy of God to the chosen people of Abraham. What you would see is a group of people from somewhere else in our history. We're chosen men of the Bible, chosen kings and queens, chosen the black man's history. He had God, right? And he said they took it from us, right? The Bible says how it got took. This is why I love what I do. The Bible teaches you how this black man was taken and the black woman. This is why I love the book. This is in Genesis. This is in Genesis. He says, they will be strangers in a land, slaves, afflicted. They will serve them 400 years. That's what you look for. Remember, these groups of people is who God has set to be his Jesus Christ until Jesus Christ comes to save them. Because he's the king of Israel, the king of the Hebrews, the king of the Jews. This is who the real Jews are. They would be somewhere still in a land, not their land, waiting. Because that's what I'm prophesying. It's what I'm telling you. It's what I'm predicting to you, Abraham, is going to happen. This is the sign of who your children are going to be. Now, if God wrote this in Genesis, and he's telling him this is what's going to happen later in life. Because Moses, when they were in Egypt, Moses got them out. And it wasn't 400 years. So what Moses said, when Moses got them out, he said, I'm taking you to the promised land where God promised Abraham. You will be here for 400 years. He said, you got Pharaoh. Man, we want to go back. Like, we want to go back. Like, take us back to this nigga, the Pharaoh. That's why they was longer, and you're going to get beat worse than you got beat here. It's going to be worse. And they was like, what? And you're hitting like, it was tripping. But my point is, that wasn't it. Egypt wasn't the slavery. That was to show what slavery was, and that God would get them out. So when he sent them to the promised land, the sign was the 10 Commandments. I will rescue you. I got you out. That's the purpose. Now the 400 years is the prophecy of these, because in the Bible it says they were even stripped and stolen of their knowledge, their heritage, everything Jesus. They were taken of their garments, their culture, who they were. All that was what they did to him to show he was the king. What happened to his people had to happen to him. But this is what happened to the whose God is describing, the Israelites. 400 years to be slaves in another country and can't go back to theirs. Now, this is why I teach my church. Now, look at there. So it isn't, I come up, don't, so I didn't want it to be, oh, I'm just trying to say 400. God says African and slave and black. The fact that it's even in the Bible should give hope. He mentions people got treated bad for 400 years. The fact that it's in the Bible and you don't have faith, but you have faith, you'll get a car. You have faith, you'll win the lotto. You have faith, you'll make it home safe, and then make it home safe again the next day. Make it home. You have faith in that, but you wouldn't have faith. God wrote about people getting treated bad for 400 years in another country, and you wouldn't think of yourself or your people or your ancestors, the people that's going to be even ahead of you now, or behind you, because when you pass on, aren't you going to want to tell the next group of blacks, hey, this is what to do, this is how you be safe, this is how you make it, this is how you make everyone happy and proud. So we have to take pride. This is God giving it to us. Now, that's one part. I have found the whole piece. I'd be so scared to sit here and say, God got something in the Bible about 400 years and it's us, and then I start teaching it and come to find out it ain't us. So the fact that I was able to put it all together makes me even happier to preach it, that it is us. God is God, and he knew the biggest, and you got to understand, the time of this, no one knew who God was. So the reason there's 30 million different churches all over the world, because you got to understand, if God is telling us one thing, you have something else telling you something else. But in this world, how do you know which one was the one who was really supposed to be telling you the truth? So because of even that exists, it shows in the Bible, when God says one thing, who comes to try to tell you something else? And you got to understand, there was no religion. God sent someone. They did what God said, and they believed in what God sent that person to do. Think like this. Did Jesus Christ come and save? What up, Big? Did Jesus Christ come and save any of the slaves out of Egypt? No, Moses did. So to say thank Jesus for saving us out of Egypt would be kind of a lie. Kind of, because he didn't do it. So what was the point of someone else doing it? Because that's what you believed in. You believed in Moses, who freed you. So that was what you believed in. So when God says the law of Moses, the book of Moses, the commandments of Moses, that's how important a person was. But to be a slave and be stripped of God, you have been weakened to think it's a crime to think you can do something other than work a 9 to 5. Oh, there goes a nigger thinking he can fly. Let's do something to show you don't have wings. But that's the point of what God is trying to do. Now think if Jesus comes, everyone's praying, going to church, giving the money, obeying the government, and Jesus is mad at them. Think about that. You're going to church, you're bowing down, you're following the way. Here comes Jesus. He's turning over the temple, telling he's going to destroy it and burn it down and tear it up. Everybody, we pray here. Ain't no way this is Jesus, and he's saying he about to destroy this. Think of that vision. Here I am as my father's son. I know the way, the law. I can do what I want to. I have the law. I can do as I command anytime. Everyone has to obey. And if I say I'm about to destroy it, look at the perception of everyone else. This is what I want you to see. Look at the time frame. And remember, there's no such thing as religion. So they have nothing other than who has come before. Jesus came, and now this whole law got established of how to find God, because Jesus showed the way. Until then, they had nothing other than the hope he would come. So imagine all these people going to churches, and Jesus never built one. Was he angry because they thought they knew what they were doing, when here he comes trying to show you how you're supposed to do it? So how can you have what I've shown you if I haven't shown it to you? If I haven't shown it to you yet? That's what he was trying to get them to see. Of course, you read he said it. Watch this, you guys. The only way they could have read it is if they had it themselves. Watch what Jesus says in John, I believe, verse 10 and 11. Watch this. Verse 12. It's not this far. Maybe it's before that. John 3. John 2. Okay, but my point, here it goes. Yep, here it goes. John 5:39. So watch this. He was trying to show him that I'm here. And if you are referring to the Bible telling you I've come, for that's how you know of me, because people have taught you of me. But it also speaks of the time of the end. Is that it now? So he's trying to get you to see, because you guys got to understand, how would they have known of Jesus? Even if you do take yourself, and it is a what if Jesus did all this, they would have had to prepare themselves for him, right? You can't have the birth of Jesus Christ and no one know what that means. For that baby to be here, no one knew. So they would have had to study the Word of God. But he was trying to show him you can read the book in the end. That doesn't make it the end. So of course you know me, but why would he be mad? He got upset because I'm the way. I'm showing you who I am. The Bible doesn't know me because I had to be born to show the Bible how I was. It can prophesize me, but it's not me. Those words in red are my words. But what about the words I'm saying right now? That's more powerful than these, because the Bible's not going to have that. So he was trying to get them to see he's the way. And even though you studied me, did it prepare you to see my birth? No, because you just saw it in the start. You got to think. Remember, the Bible's here, but they got to, they're living that. And he's trying to get them to see the Bible prepared you for him, but you've never met him until he came. So, and then they're going to church. How can they go to church praising Jesus and he didn't even build it for them to do it? And that's what he's trying to get them to see. They were being tricked. He's here now. They had felt, remember, they already thought they thought he came and died already. That's why they didn't accept him. They thought he was who Jesus says many will come saying I'm he. That's their defense. They thought he was an imposter, for they were already taught of him. And he said, how can you have taught me and I just now have come to set the way? Now watch this. Watch what he said to them. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. That's the Bible. Reading the Bible, you think you have eternal life because you read the Bible, you read the scriptures. Watch what he says the Bible is. And they are they which testify of me. They're just the book to show you there is a Lord, there is a Savior, there is a Jesus, there is a Son of God. And when you see these signs of him, you'll know that's my son who I wrote about. That's to identify him. But the book itself is not here to save you. If the Bible tells you he's gonna show up, why would you still look in the book if he showed up? Think about that. You would look for what's next, but there's no way the Bible has 24/7 what you just saw him do. It has parts of it, so it has parts of what you need. The other part is going to be what you got of what it told you to watch for, and it's going to come to you. You're going to witness it. The fact that Jesus' story is told to us first, it's so you can fast forward and go read ahead past him, because he's here to save those 400. Jesus was born. Why do you think Jesus met Moses on the mountain? Because Moses freed the children out of Egypt. Jesus was coming to free them out of the 400. The white man never wanted you to read the 400 period was even in the Bible for you to even have hope. If God did it for one group for 400, you would have related it to yourself and had faith in God. Not putting it that it was you. You would have just believed if he did it once for some people, why are you unable to get God's love and favor? But to think of this, if the white man told you it's something in the book about 400 years of slavery, you would have automatically connected. So that even disconnect you to believe God loved people in the situation you're currently in. So all of that was to disenfranchise your brain, to discourage it, so you would think the white man only had salvation. Remember, he was trying to disconnect you from God. He already said he stole your religion. He stole your faith. He stole your God away from you in your face. That's from his mouth. That's what's crazy. The white man bragged about taking the black man's power. You think your power was because you sat on a kingdom and a throne and there's war? That can happen physical. Not saying you couldn't beat them, but that's what was going on. So to take your power and you're still alive. So it wasn't necessarily a result that he forced you to do anything. How did he get your power? So that becomes even the more question. How are you still alive if it takes war to stop somebody? And yet you're still breathing. But you don't sit on your throne anymore. So think like that. Who blessed you to still be alive and not succumb to what they wanted to do to you? How did slavery save your life instead of march you to death? So that becomes what the Bible, that's why I'm asking everyone to listen. I'm not here to lie. This is what we read. And it's all in this book. The real truth of how the black woman was kidnapped is in the book. And it didn't happen like that. The reason the black man can't get angry and start a war against the white man because he'll kill every white man in sight. And that's not what happened. It's not how it happened. It didn't happen like the white man is just evil person and just start beating. You couldn't have did it. So because even God describes it, so that's what made me take a relief. Now, the slavery, black people were serving white people happily. And white people were letting black people live happily under God. You were just serving, you were a slave to the white man. But this is what happened. The black man disobeyed God. And the black man did rule the world. Not just his country, the world. So to show the black man the power in his hands and his decisions to make the right, peaceful decisions like God has blessed him to be, the black man was making it hard for other people. So God stripped the black men of that power and still having it in them, but forced them to serve another group under them while they were the rulers. And now these people got to It's like basically if someone has to rule and I took it from you, someone has to rule, right? So now the white man got to rule, and the black man had to serve under him for a time until he realized what it was to be love, to be peace, to honor God first. That was the punishment, to be stripped. And you guys gotta understand, one man lived 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 years. So 400 years of slavery, that's one person. You know, so God wasn't thinking like, I'm about to kill him. But you got to think, he already prophesied what was going to happen. How it was going to happen, he didn't say. But he prophesied for those 400. Would you believe in the Bible, after the king did that, and God stripped them and forced them to slavery, it was 400 years they had to be slaves to these people they had power over. Now they had power over them. So the white men, because God told them to take over, came, rushed Israel, Africa, and brought, well, we were already ruling America, because it wasn't called America. This was God's. God promised Moses the land of milk and honey. I will send you to the land of milk and honey. America's slogan, and it's before America, but God is already, if he already prophesied to Abraham this is coming later, he already knew the place was going to be called the land of milk and honey. And look, you guys, this is what's another sign. If this is Obadiah and Matthew still isn't, we still haven't got to Jesus' birth yet, there were highways being built. So Jesus was born at a time highways were built. Because when it gets to Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, there's highways established. So now, instead of them having to take the long boats, remember they had to take boats to get to the rivers, they had highways. So if highways are already mentioned now in Obadiah and Amos, Joel, Jesus isn't even mentioned yet. So he would have had to have been born at a time highways. And you guys got to remember, all this is going on with the 400 years. It's still 400. All these people, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, they're all slaves. Hosea, they're all slaves in the 400. When Jesus is born, he's to free them of 400 years of slavery. That's the prophecy. So that's why Jesus Christ was put as white in front of everyone. So you would think he was white and he already did all these things. And you would have never connected it to today. Jesus, and how I teach in my church, with my hand on the Bible, with pure faith, Jesus hasn't even been born yet, you guys. He's supposed to be born. Because the 400 isn't technically up yet. And God's not a day, second, minute late or make you go over. It's going to be 400 exact from the date. And you know what the 250 years of America is? Remember I told you, along the line of being treated right, then the corruption, then the slavery, then the rape, then the kidnapping happened. They no longer started. Okay, so when they was in Egypt, Pharaoh was treating them right because of Joseph. Remember, Joseph had interpreted Pharaoh's dream, saved Egypt and the world, Israel, Jacob, all his brothers that sold him into slavery, saved them because he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and God prepared him for what was about to come. And Pharaoh's dream spoke of the end of the world. Because of famine, people would go hungry and not be able to eat because the earth wouldn't produce food no more. So Joseph saved the world. So because he saved Pharaoh by interpreting his dream, they were able to live in Egypt and be the rulers of Egypt because God was with them. And God blessed Egypt, and God blessed Egypt because of Joseph and Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel. But then after, and Pharaoh died, a new Pharaoh came, which is the Exodus story, and he started to slave and treat them bad, and didn't listen to Joseph, didn't listen to God, and didn't listen to Pharaoh, didn't listen to what Egypt had said at all, and started treating them bad. So that's the original format of how slavery started. It wasn't bad for them at first. Everything was okay. So it happened again in the story of the 400. Everything was good. They were able to build their own homes. They were able to build their own homes, plant their own food, eat. They just had to serve and be underneath these people that were starting to unite the nations. That were like starting to do what God wanted them to do, but instead of them doing it, he allowed them to do it. That was their slavery. But then it got to, okay, we're not going to feed them. They have to live with us. They have to live outside. We're going to strip. We're going to beat. The slavery we grew horror into fear and understand was how he was treated. That started. And it was a unitance between Africa and America. In the Bible, it says that between the country of God and the country of the people that slayed them, then they started to conspire and started to, okay, I'm going to let you come take 20,000 and you put them in, 100 boats. And it started like that, then selling them. And so and then what happened, the white man, instead of trading with Africa, giving them equal part, they started giving half, which would have had these people rich and all that. They started finding people that were willing to betray their government and start kidnapping. And they meet and then trade it, give it to them instead. And it started like that. And Africa started hating America. Like, that's what started the war between Africa and America. But it was an alliance, and the Bible speaks of it. The king of Israel, the king of Africa, worked with them and started to betray his own people, selling them off. So it's meant to say, the real Illuminati, the reason no one, or just think, 400 years and nothing. What up, Pearl? What up, mama? 400 years and nothing happened, no intervening. That's because Africa was down with it. That's why nobody gets the Illuminati. If you knew Africa is what powers, it's like 50-50. The white man, but the other power is Africa itself. And what it does is it stars Africa. Wow. It, sent his babies over here to be crucified as well. So they're working together. While they're living fat. But that's the power. And the reason it's so cold and those hits and those blows seem, where's God? Where's help? Where's the aid? It's because the aid is what's doing it too. That's the only way it gets that bad, is when someone set it up. You guys, think about it. Because a victim can get help itself. If no one was there, things can happen for anyone at any given moment. But nothing, that's because nothing was meant. And that's what Jesus was trying to show everybody. Because you guys got to think like this too. You don't pray to the devil. You don't look for the devil. How could the devil come trick you and you're not even looking for him? So you gotta start thinking, maybe it's not because you look for Satan. So it's not you slipped into the hands of something bad. What if something bad, you guys got to get why God is describing it. What if something bad was what you were already in? See, because it's not he tricked you, as to say you fell for it. What if you're already in it? That's what you got to start thinking when God says, and you got to thank God. Thank God and stop thinking the white man on TV putting this person with pointy ears, red, with a tail, with a goatee, beard, mustache, and the pitchfork. Stop thinking he's some character. Stop thinking he's some character, some person. You got to think God the Almighty is describing this person that In God's world of everything perfect, I won't do anything and hurt you. Somebody comes and kills you horribly, bloody, split you, just tore you to pieces, and murdered you. And God says, this is the person that does this, but I wouldn't do it. So it's already someone that hurt you in a world where God wouldn't hurt you. Someone would. And you got to think God. And you got to think God, you guys. You got to think the hands. Okay, hold on. TikTok is making me do the, I got to do the little puzzle. Hold on, y'all. Come on. Alright, here we go. It make you do the puzzle. If you don't do the puzzle, then it cuts you off live to show you, I guess, you a real person, or you ain't just using up their time, not paying attention. Which is cool, because some people just turn it on a movie and leave the highlight and drive somewhere else. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I keep saying I didn't do it. Hold on. And drive somewhere else and be gone for like an hour or two. Come back thinking people done sent gifts. They were just on mute, not trying to mess up the movie. They wasn't even there no more. So they do that to make sure, and they'll cut it off if you don't answer. Okay, so what was we saying? So you gotta think God. That's what I'm trying to get you to think. Murder. God will protect you and wouldn't hurt you. And then you got somebody that'll kill you and take your life. Oh, I wanted my cousin here to hear this so bad. I wanted you to hear this so bad. Oh, I needed you to hear it. Okay. Then you guys is listening. Who's listening? My cousin was here, man. Thank you, cousin, for coming. I just wanted you to hear it. Then you got somebody that'll kill you and take your life forever, right? So if you put that together, a promise in life, I'll always be there to protect you. Then you have something that would kill you and hurt you and let something bad happen to you. And God is trying to tell you not to get tricked by this and fall victim to it. And you guys got to understand, you don't look for the devil. You don't pray to the devil. You don't worship him. So how do you fall victim of something you're not looking for? Maybe it's because it's not about you looking for it that way. Because maybe you're already in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of Moses. His family comes. We're rulers. We own the world. We own Egypt. God is blessing us. They don't got nothing. They have to work for everything. What they grow, they have to hand it over to Pharaoh. And if Pharaoh's nice to give them something to survive, they'll have it. And they have to live like that. And he's born into that. And that mind frame, that's what you have to do. This is our life. So what if the devil, in this perfect world, this perfect life, this perfect love that we have, what if he's now like Pharaoh, the ruler, and you're adjacent, you're adjusted, you're familiar with, you're adapted to his way of living and his lifestyle and how he has everybody and he has the world. Because you got to think murder. Death is his tool. And it's only one thing that stops any human in life to not pursue. If love was over there and they tried to reach for it, the only thing that would stop someone from not reaching, and even if they reach, not get there, is death. That's the only thing that stops somebody. I'm going to kill you. And it says you'll be dead, you'll be shot, you'll be hung, you'll be burned, you'll be lynched. Something bad will happen to you. You'll be set up. You'll be electrocuted. You go to jail forever in life. He lived to be 100 years in jail. Is dying slowly because you took their life. And the exact way you do it in life, prevent them from ever having any chance and opportunity to So prison defines the reality, but it doesn't give the prisoner or the incarcerated, doesn't give the innocent, nor does it give the free the accurate justice of themselves. That's the crime itself of it. So now you got two prisons. The reality, and why would someone innocent be in it, period. And then the adjacent, where everyone understands if I do such and such, I go there, but that might not be 100% what right if it incarcerates the innocent and lets the bad person go free and punishes someone for the bad person's crime. So that couldn't be God. That becomes the American justice system. The government. Then you have God, clearly. But then it's two prisons. The prison God freed Joseph out of, he was speaking of. And then the prison that the devil obviously doesn't want to go to himself. When he created. So that's the reality of it. But as that fear, again, what's the only thing that stops a human being from trying to do something? That's death. Death. Death becomes the fear. So what's so inaccurate with death that it uses it to threaten something that may not equivalent to death? Thank you. Welcome. Think about that. Death may not take you, nor want you, or need you, but yet it forces it on you. It forces it on you. That's what you got to see. So if the devil has that power, do you not see how it's used? Freeze or I'll shoot is not this person did this and I had to pull my weapon out. Freeze or I'll shoot, and a mother is walking with her children, but because she looked like, did that, I want to do that. However, I pulled my gun out because I thought such and such and such and such. In reality, I just wanted to harass a black woman, and I tried to get her so incoherent of my actions. Now, the law proceeded to have any reference to what she was doing and have her to be aggressive of being harassed and all that, and then try to force something on her. That was the crime. So it's like, there's no accident if something's at that moment, and that's what was needed. There's no such thing. It's an accident when you force it on something that wasn't there. That's a victim. And it doesn't matter if you're in uniform to prevent that from happening to someone outside. In this unfair world, that's fair. Injustice and everything you stand to protect. See, that's the difference. Someone innocent never is in the line of fire when there's someone guilty present. There's only two targets. You shot that person. That's like testing, right? You shot the person that's minding their business, and you failed to hit the person that's causing this person and yourself the danger. So that becomes the protocol in life. But you can't justify that because that person you're saving would be the person with the gun. Just another day, or did it yesterday, or is about to do it now. Like, it was letting them go. That's the difference. But all of us are the targets. When we are the innocent one, putting together this mass person is the bad person. And it's like, as soon as, that's where it becomes, because it is. Martin Luther King was a victim of this because he was born in a world of bad and also portraying to be good. So looking for that, he never expected that to be the culprit. What up? Who is that? Falcons? How you doing? I know I think she left. She was in here listening to me, man. We doing church right now. I'm doing church. She was in here. That's my cousin. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what was we talking about? My bad. So being lynched, not like that, but like that's, you feel me? So that becomes what unbalances the law. Is it's like a desire to move and break balance. It's like if someone needs to breathe, it's like, how do we find a way to suffocate someone without them ever knowing it's us, plugging up the arteries, you know what I'm saying? Like how do we leave ourselves out of it while still able to do it? So because you're in that kind of foretelling episode, I guess you would say. I have to do this. So you guys, let's just do this real quick. I hope it's still on. If it's still on, we can do it. Let's see if we got it. I just want to hear this. I said I was supposed to hear this a long time ago, but I didn't. And we're gonna get into Obadiah too. So hopefully Obadiah can hear this.
I think I had y'all at 190, right? Handle 190, was that it? Let us sing. What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. You know, said what a blessedness, what a peace is mine, leaning on the everlasting. And you know you're leaning on Jesus, and we're leaning on Jesus, and we're saved, safe and secure from all love. And you know we are leaning on Jesus, and we're leaning on Jesus, and we're leaning on the everlasting. Oh, oh, how sweet to walk in this. Y'all gotta sound like you're leaning. Come on. Oh, where we're leaning on the everlasting. Hallelujah. Oh, how bright the path goes from day to day, and we're leaning on the everlasting. And you know we are leaning on, not by yourself, and you're leaning on Jesus, and we're saved, and secure from all love. And you know we're leaning on Jesus, my Lord, we're leaning Jesus, and we're leaning on the everlasting. Oh, somebody said, oh, how do I to tread what have I to fear, leaning on the everlasting. I have blessed peace right here with my Lord, so dear, and we're leaning on the everlasting. Blessed my children, we're leaning on Jesus, and we're leaning. So we say, and secure from all. You ain't got to do it by yourself, leaning on Jesus, you know we're leaning on Jesus, and we're leaning on.
What have I to dread? What have I to fear? Thank you. Who is that right there? Appreciate you. I don't know. Whoever you is, I appreciate you for waiting. We about to get started. I just wanted to hear this real quick.
I think I had y'all like 190, right? Handle 190, was that it? Let's sing. What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. You know, said what a blessedness, what a peace is mine, leaning on the everlasting. And you know you're leaning on Jesus.
Okay, last time. Thank you.
I think I had y'all like 190, right? Handle 190, was that it? Let's sing.